Hey, welcome back to Monster Gaming. Uh, just wanted to talk a little bit more about the game, some of the other little updates that we've been doing over here. Um, Definitely have been working on some more upgrades. I'll show you a few things that I'm working on here. I'm upgrading one tower here, um, another tower here, and another tower here. I think yeah, that's that. This is the last. Nope. So there's two towers, I think. Maybe more than that. I'm lying. There's a few more towers that I can level up, but I'm working on these three to begin with. Let's see what else. Trying to find it. I think this is my last tower that's at that level. Just trying to look around and see if there's another one. Nope. Yeah, that's my last one. So that's my next step. Once I have enough income here, I'm going to work on leveling up this cannon tower to that awesome thing there. Anti-tank gun, I believe it's called at that point, which is awesome. Those do a lot more damage, a lot more HP. So doing my leveling up, I've been noticing a bunch of stuff. So the one thing that I noticed, which is why I'm working on the towers first, is cost versus how important and how much HP and how much damage, all that stuff. What's going to help you the most when you're in global age and above? Because everything's so expensive. So it's like trying to figure out the order of doing things. So you got these guys, right? 93 damage per second. They shoot in all directions, which is really nice. 93 damage is not that much. Um, okay. And the HP is pretty good, right? 5,900. Now, if I were to upgrade that, the HP would jump up to over 6,000, and the damage would jump over 100 per second. Plus, you get a ton of XP rewards. I'm noticing a lot of these defensive uh, buildings. Very strong. And I already have one of those here. So let's look at the tower, because that's what I was wanted to kind of highlight here. So this has a range of 7, same thing, shoots at anybody who attacks the town. So, and the HP is very high. Look at this, this is 8,000. So it has very good hit points. And the damage per second is 407. So the damage per second is much higher than on the readout, but the right readout is shooting in all directions. So that's why it's good against a bunch of population that's trying to come at you, versus this one does a single target. But get this. If this hits a plane, one hit on a plane is 407 damage per second. Depending on them going, because they usually kind of loop around. You might hit that plane twice, maybe 3 times, depending on how quickly this thing is shooting. You might be able to do about maybe 1,000, a little over 1,000 damage. That's pretty solid, especially if the planes are pretty low level. And the HP, as you can tell, is pretty solid. Now let's take a look at if you upgrade this. Now the hit points jump up to almost 8,800, and the damage also jumps up. That's pretty significant. Now you're looking at a little over 450 per second, and it's going to stay alive a little bit longer. The reason these guys are really good, and this should be focused on before the readouts, is that this hits units that are flying above or on the ground, and you're going to get that extra boost, because you will start seeing a lot of planes for sure, around global and those areas around there and beyond. Planes become a big nuisance. So if you have nothing that's really doing, significant damage against them, you're going to be a little stranded. So My towers are actually pretty low level compared to where they should be, so that's why I'm making sure that I'm focusing on them. So 2 days, 9 days, and 4 days. You know, it is what it is. It does take time. Let's look at one more thing. This is level 1, air defense. Air defense you get a little bit later in the game. They're very expensive. So let's look at air defense. Hit points 6,000. So it's, I think the hit points are very similar to the readouts level that I'm on now. So you do pretty good there. But look at the damage per second, 369. This is strictly against air defense, air attack, sorry. So usually they're pretty accurate, if that makes sense, versus the towers are going to have to decide between targets. So sometimes they're not as fast at hitting the planes and things. And you can look at the damage, 369. This damage is not even as good as the tower. The tower does much more than that. And this is only level 1, so this is why this is very pricey to start with, and then leveling up is pretty pricey. Hit points do jump up a bunch, and then the damage does go up a little bit, which is really nice. It takes 7 days, and it's extremely expensive. So this is as expensive as a tower level, getting to level 9. So very effective. I have 3. I'm pretty sure that's as many as I can have right now. So that's fine. That's something definitely to work on. But that only does aerial troops. Anything on the ground is going to do zilch. So you definitely want to have them protected, or have them in a nice little area where at least they'll be able to try to pick off some of those planes as they enter the map. So that was like a quick highlight, just because I was looking at the different things. This is one of the other ones. This one won't help you with, let's see, these are all level 5. Yep. So this won't help you with that. This will help you with troops that are running around. 6,000, a little over 6,000 hit points. So you're starting to see that kind of where I am. Everything's right around 6,000. I need to get that up, so they can be, so they can survive a lot more. They do area damage, which is really nice. Damage per second is 96. That's really low. It does splash damage, so it will hit multiple troops at the same time, which is really good. But yeah, these things don't really threaten that much. So this is if you have a lot of infantry troops running around, it'll be a big nuisance to them. The mortar early on in the game is very good. It's going to do a lot of work for you. Later in the game, you really have to level it up to do a lot for you. So let's say on the next level, now it looks really super cool, right? The hit points jumps up, so it's almost 6,800, and the damage per second is definitely over 100, but it is splash damage, so it's still useful. It is going to be a good thing, but I would rank it third of usefulness or need to upgrade behind the towers. Then you have the cannon towers would probably be second, just because a lot of tanks are going to come by, and that's going to do a ton of damage to them. Actually, we didn't look at that, did we? Maybe we did, but we'll look at it one more time. Look at that damage per second. That's insane. It hits only one target, so if you put just a little peon up to it, it's not going to do much. But it's best against cavalry and tanks because it's going to hit really hard. Most cavalry and tanks in the level that I'm at, or right around there, are going to be approaching 16 to 22,000 in hit points. So it's going to do some heavy damage against them, but it's not going to one-shot them. Let's see what happens when we upgrade it. Oh, see? And this is why I need to work on that one and get that one upgraded. The hit points do jump up a little bit, but the damage is ridiculous. Now it jumps up when you go to level 5. it's almost 3,800. So right around there. That's crazy. That's a big difference. A big difference. These things will terrorize tanks. So this is definitely something else that I want to work on. I do have a couple of these on here, but still need to work on it, anti-tank gun. Then that's fine. This game gives you so many opportunities to work on so many different things. So it really is good to kind of stay focused and see what your priorities are. So let me do this thing here and collect these things. So that's all. That's one thing that I was noticing this past week is like I need to start upgrading my defensive things and what's going to be the most beneficial. Um, these regular towers, for sure. I need to try to get these up to the next level. They're really going to help against planes. This one, the cannon tower, it definitely needs to be one of my priorities. I can eventually kind of rearrange things, make them look a little bit better, and be a little more strategic, but I just need to level things up. I've been working on my walls a little bit, so you'll see a couple of the walls are leveled up. I know one of my goals is to get a lot of the wall leveled up, but that's going to have to go in bits and pieces because that's also very expensive. Oh, I did upgrade the bastion. As you can see, this bastion is upgraded. Why is that one not upgraded? Where's the other one? Oh, this one right here. Okay. Eventually I'm going to do that one. And this is a level 1. That's another thing to look at. 18,000 hit points because it's supposed to be very similar to like a very thick wall. Rubble appears, slows down invaders in that area, which is really nice. And it reduces the engineer's damage. 18,000 hit points. If I were to upgrade that, that is ridiculous. It goes over 30,000. And it's an instant build like a wall. So that's another thing that I was not paying attention to too much. So when I have the money, I am going to be doing that as well. I have 4 of them, or five of them. They're not very strategically placed. I'm going to work on it. A lot of stuff to work on, but I'm excited. I think it's going to make a huge difference working on these things. It's just going to take some time. Second biggest reason why I wanted to do this quick video is we did another war. We did pretty good. We're not doing as crummy as we were before. We're being a little more strategic, trying to pick out the best matchups to work on. But we need more people. We changed the group name to Elite Squad because we're not really newbies. Some of us have been playing for months or years. But we're looking for more people to join to do wars with us. We have about 10 players who are consistently playing in the war. We want to get another 2 to kind of have options, right? And then eventually get up to 15. So if you're looking to join us, minimum medals right now is 300. We are going to increase that probably after our next war because we want to get people that are playing. Medals are definitely not everything. There's some people that don't do a ton of multiplayer wars, and that's fine. Or they just go and loot. So that's fine. But we're looking for people who are active, who are going to play almost every day like we do. We want people who are going to be donating troops during World War, of course, during World Wars. You don't have to donate left and right. That's, it doesn't make sense. You obviously want to keep your resources to yourself and do what you need to do. But if we have a war, you want to participate in the war, you need to donate. You need to use the chat. The chat has to be one of the coolest things is chit chat with everybody. We're slowly getting to know each other. We're doing more of the wars together. We're kind of getting an idea for how people fight. How people are kind of like what they're working on in their city. What kind of things we need to improve on, what kind of things maybe we can give advice or anything. Like we are definitely building a nice alliance. We would like to find a couple more people that are into the game, are active, And if they're not super active right now because for whatever reason, but they would like to join an alliance that is active, that is going to talk to one another, you can ask questions, and whatever you want to do. We're not like hardcore, we're not going to boot you just because, we're not going to, whatever. But we're going to be active. We enjoy the game. I definitely play it daily now. I'm really enjoying the game now because of the alliance. So if you're playing, haven't found a good alliance for you, maybe our alliance is the place to go. A lot of different skill levels in our alliance. Some people are very economic. Some people are very defensive. Some people are very offensive. Some people are really good at warring, and that's kind of strategies behind that. There's definitely a lot of talent here. We're just looking for a few more people. So once again, if you want to take a look at the name, very generic. Who knows? Maybe we'll change it down the road. But for right now, we're Elite Squad. We're getting close to getting to that perks level 3. I like that idea that the longer you're in the alliance and the alliance keeps moving, doing wars, being pretty effective, we're going to get the perks up, which everybody benefits from. We've been doing the laws here, and this is all them participating. This isn't kind of like, hey, you need to participate in this and go do this, go do that. Everybody's chipping in, which is super awesome. And then we're getting there. It's really cool. So like I said, we do play, we do chat, trying different things. We're watching the matches of some of the higher level players just to see like what's effective. We're rewatching war battles to see how other teams are handling their defenses. All kinds of stuff. So, we have like I said, we have an active alliance. People are participating, and we're just looking for some more people to join the fun. And yeah, so come check us out. Sorry, I always end up dragging these so long just because I don't script them. I just kind of think of them on the spot, to be honest. But yeah, any questions you have, I'll see if I can do another video in a few days. Hopefully these things will be built, or some of them will be built, and then I'm working on some other ones. And I'm trying to get this 192 up here. I'm trying to get to 200, like I said before. It's going to take longer than I thought, but I'm still working on things, still working on library things, still working on university things as well. Everything's super expensive. You'll notice that I did end up switching to the Germans. I'm using these tanks and then 3 heavy tanks, and right now it seems to be working okay, and I'm using the planes, but I'm looking at evolving and being able to attack a little better. So things are all going in the right direction. Come check us out. Thanks for watching. Bye.